Hey, you guys. Kelly Bailey with Bailey Rose and Company. This is take two. I swear I am like losing my mind. I did this whole video, I just did this whole live and my sound wasn't working on my computer. And this is like I don't even know how many times it's happened and I thought that I fixed it and it didn't. So, if anyone saw me before, sorry about that. But anyway, I'm joining you now. I had to switch, like I'll try my best to do as good as I did on the first one, of course. But if anyone is, by the way, let me start fresh. So like I said, I'm Kelly Bailey with Bailey Rose and Company. If anyone is joining me and joining that's new, say hi. I'd love to say hi back to you. Tell me where you're from. We're always looking to hear new viewers, but I'd like to join once a week, and I was calling it Monday Motivation. So I'm going to have to switch this up a little bit, you guys, because my Mondays are crazy. So I decided to call it Weekly Motivation. This way I'm not stuck to doing it on a Monday, but I try to. It's just that I have 3 kids, and the sports right now and everything on Mondays, I don't get home until 8 o'clock at night with 3 kids and then trying to get them in bed and, all the craziness. So I just went ahead and decided to switch it over to weekly. So the topic today is called the 5-second rule. Most of you, I'm sure when you saw that, you were like, the 5-second rule, not the one where you take food off the floor. And we definitely do it because we're moms, right? So, all the time. Not only for my kids, for myself. But anyway, no, not that rule. So I thought, I was thinking about this. I was watching, I watch TED Talks a lot. I was watching a TED Talk yesterday and it just made me think of something, from when I was at one of my deepest depression points. And I thought, you know what, let me share this with you. So I feel like I've told you guys before, but, I suffered from postpartum depression 3 times, each baby. The 3rd time was definitely the worst of all the times. Let me turn the sound off on my computer now because it's making me laugh. It's going off. So 3 times, that 3rd time, I think, and it's nothing to I won't even go into the details of that because I'll save that for another time. But, yeah, that one was just a little bit harder. I was working a lot. My husband and I were fighting a lot. There was just a lot more going on. So I feel like it just really felt really strong. I was having a lot of trouble nursing him too. And, I feel like the mom guilt was at an all-time high and a bunch of other things. So, this was something that when I saw this TED Talk yesterday, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny because they put a name to something that I had done to help myself at my lowest point. And I thought, hey, why not share it with you guys? The funny thing was about this TED Talk was that, they talked about motivation being a whole, it's not really about being motivated. It's that you need to do stuff that you don't necessarily want to do. And how do you force yourself to do those things? Because there's plenty of them. I know that I don't really like cleaning up stuff a lot, and yet I have kids, and that all those things need to be cleaned up. So, but there are 100 other things that I'm like, oh God, I just don't want to do that. Taxes, paperwork, blah. Okay, so this was something, but at the time, when I was in my deepest point, it was things I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to, most of the time, if I got out of bed, it was to move to the couch, and I'd be like, oh, kids, here, have some food. It was just normal day functioning. That was my issue at the time. And so obviously, that's even a bigger issue than some of the stuff that I don't like to do right now. But, this was something that helped me, and so that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. So the 5-second rule is a way to, so I guess what it is, the science of it is your brain has about 5 seconds before it starts to before you talk yourself out of things. So how all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm gonna work out today, and then you're like, I don't know, I don't feel like it. And then the more you think about it, you've now talked yourself out of it, right? So today I was actually I have my period. And so my hormones and my brain were trying to talk me out of working out, and eating a healthy dinner because it wanted peanut butter and jelly. That's my vice, or for whatever reason. But, I was instead of being oh yeah, I don't want to work out, I don't want to do this, because it's so easy to turn yourself into that. I just stopped myself before I even thought that thought. And the way you can stop yourself is, and this is like just a little trick, and this person who did this TED talk like named this trick, it's to count backwards. So from 5 to 1. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just do whatever it is. You've like stopped your brain from getting into this cycle. You've like tricked it almost, because counting forwards for some whatever reason, you don't really have to think, because our brains are like we're so used to counting like that from 1 to 10 especially. But when you start to count backwards, you have to like think a little bit more. And I guess the science of it is that it moves like this function of your brain to like the front, and then you're being able to like think clearly. And this is something, like I said, that it reminded me last night when I was watching this, and I was feeling like last night I was just like, ugh, I just don't feel good. I'm getting my period, like blah, blah, blah. And what I do, and what I did when I was at my low points, because when you're in depression, the sad part is that you like really isolate yourself. Okay. I mean, this is at least what I did. I didn't want to see people, mainly because I didn't want to shower or brush my teeth or wash my hair, let alone like other things that were normal daily functions. So to be around people was probably like, ew. I felt like I was just like sad all the time. And I felt like that was, not only was I feeling depressed, I like didn't want to make other people feel depressed. So I just like isolated myself. And so what I did when I started to snap out of it, and you'll laugh, like it was almost, so like what happened to me to snap to my like number one step for me to snap out of it, or I should say there was like an incident that happened that made me snap out of it. And so I'll start with that. So the incident was that I was laying in bed, and I honestly can't even remember the reason. I just remember that my husband and I had to fight. I was laying in bed. The next day, I somehow got the kids to school. My mom came over to help me with the baby, and I was just like crying to her and like, woe is me. But it wasn't even woe is me. It was just like like I can't, like I can't. And I just couldn't. And it was almost like she gave me a slap in the face. She was like, Kelly, you're a mother of 3 children. You need to get your shit together and get out of this goddamn bed. And it was like, because like I feel like moms just know, right? Like, and they just know when to be there for your pity party, but they also know when to be there to like snap you out of it. And she totally snapped me out of it. And then from then on, but the problem was that I just like couldn't get myself to like force myself to get out of bed every day. I couldn't get up early enough to get the kids to school on time. Like I just did not want to wake up. That was the issue. And so what I was doing was I was trying to get up fast before I even had time to talk myself out of it. And this was like a trick that I did to myself. And so when I saw this TED talk last night, when I was like feeling crappy about something, I was like, oh my God. But so what I did from that point forward was I started, and you guys, I had a phone. I wasn't on social media because again, I was like isolating myself. I started to like reintroduce myself slowly to like the regular world through social media. And I was like, okay, let me just start looking at like friends on Facebook, and let me just start like, oh, I didn't have an Instagram account, you guys. Like I was like, oh, let me create an Instagram account. And I just started like looking at tweets from moms that like moms that were just like me, that were like struggling, yet like they found like humor in the struggle. I don't know what it was, you guys, but like these other moms, like they've like little tidbits of stories, just like little pieces of their day. It helped me. And it helped me. And so I thought, and that's what really made me it sort of made me, they were things that I looked forward to get up every day. And then I realized like, there was all these other steps. So maybe I'll make this like part 1 of maybe a longer conversation, but there's all these other things. But this was like the first one for me, was that like, okay, now I need to be able to get out of bed, because if I can't get up, like I can't do all the things that I need to do to change where I am right now. And I can't get my kids to school on time, and I can't like be like, there were a huge list of things, right, guys? So like I needed to be a better mother. I needed to like get out of this job that was crazy, and I was working 60 to 80 hours a week and like traveling literally 90% of the time. Like I knew I needed to change a lot of things, but if I couldn't get out of bed, I couldn't do all those other things. And so this was what I did, you guys. I mean, before I even saw this TED talk, I would seriously say to myself, okay, I wouldn't even say to myself, because again, like if you think, then you're going to get out of it. So I would just go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I would just do it, whatever it is that I had to do, get out of bed. And then I started doing it for other things, doing the dishes. And then I started doing it for taking a shower. And then I started doing it for, you know, like wash your face, brush your teeth. I mean, it was just like little things at first for me, but then it started going. And so I thought, when I saw this TED Talk, it just reminded me that of all these little things that helped me when I was at my lowest point, and I thought, let me share that with you guys, because it seems silly and it seems like it's, you know, simple, but it really did help. And so if there's something you don't want to do, like hopefully it's not that you're, but if you are as deep as I was, then hopefully that will help you. And if it's just things like you need to do your taxes and you don't want to, maybe this will just like be that one little thing that will you can trick yourself. So again, it's the 5-second rule. Count backwards from 5 to 1 before your brain has time to think and talk you out of it, and you'll get done whatever it is that you're trying to get done. If anyone else has any questions, thanks, Allison. Hi. If anyone else has any questions or wants me to like delve into one topic more than another, again, like there were so many other moms that have shared their stories, helped me, and I would seriously be happy to do that. So if there's something that you're like, man, I'm really struggling with this, comment and let me know, and I'll talk more about that. But this, I'll call this like the first part. We'll do like the next few weeks, we'll just talk a little bit more about this. And you know, then if anyone else has more questions, I'm happy to answer them. So I'm going to share this on the YouTube channel too. If you're watching this on the replay, let us know, say hi, and hope you guys have a great night. See you soon. Bye.